Hello, this is Eleanor, and I want to tell you about a new podcast I think you'll love. Cat Skull is a visceral neo-noir thriller about violence, identity, and what happens when justice turns personal. Cat Skull is set in urban Singapore and follows the story of Ram, who has always felt invisible. He's searching for meaning in a city that moves too fast to care. When Ram's best friend ends up in trouble, Ram puts on a mask and takes matters into his own hands. But after that first night behind the mask, Ram discovers something more dangerous than revenge. It's the intoxicating pull of finally mattering. Cat Skull is adapted from Miley Yang Tae's award-winning novel and produced by Audacious Productions, the award-winning team known for DC High Volume, Batman, and Temujin. So please go check out Cat Skull wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Friday. Hello, Eleanor here, and I am here to talk about the wonderful new fiction podcast, 2000 and Late. 2000 and Late is a new fiction podcast from the creator of The Bright Sessions. It is a dark comedy that grapples with the havoc of our current moment and tries to find the hope inside of it. The show follows Harper, a 36-year-old nihilist whose life is upended when she's possessed by a demon hell-bent on bringing about the apocalypse. But Harper doesn't want to end the world, and the demon gives her more power than she's ever had in a very long time, so yeah. I'm loving this show. It's sharp and funny, and it's a cathartic release from the anger and impotence I often feel about the dumpster fire of a world we are all living in these days. It's unapologetically angry, surprisingly tender, and deeply entertaining. I think that 2000 and Late is ideal for fans of Fleabag or Killing Eve, Jennifer's Body, Yellow Jackets, Venom. So yeah, let's go create some havoc. Oh, and also, Jeffrey worked on this. Jeffrey is the sound designer, and that's also really cool. So please go check out 2000 and Late wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, Malik, did you know that lycanthropy isn't spread by a virus?
Then how is it spread?
I honestly thought maybe if I just start telling a joke, the punchline will come to me in the moment. Malik does it all the time. Oh, venom. It's spread by werewolf venom.
Werewolf venom? Oh my God. Did you play bass for...
Coming to the main stage at the Colorado State Fair. Werewolf venom.
Someone on the radio said something about the sun going out forever in a month or so. But we all knew the end was near, nothing to be done from here. So I shake my head and off to bed I go.
Hello and welcome, dear listeners, to World Gone Wrong, the podcast where two friends discuss the crazy world happenings and goings-on, as well as the complex discography of my new band, Werewolf Venom. I'm Jamie.
There's no absolution without a silver delusion. And I'm Malik.
That was really good.
What can I say? I've been in a rhyming mood lately, but more on that later.
Tease.
It's called listener retention.
Well, as you might have guessed from the intro, we are doing a follow-up to our very first episode and giving you an update on everything that's been happening in the world of werewolves.
I am very disappointed you didn't call it the wild, wild world of werewolves.
Because a lot has changed in the last 6 months.
6 months? Are you sure?
Our first episode was released in early March, April, May, June, July.
Wow, time flies.
I was going to say that it feels like a lifetime ago, but...
You say tomato, I say potato.
I have to tell you a story. My dad does not curse ever. My mom did, but my dad never cursed. And once we got in a huge argument, and I was in high school, don't remember what it was about. And I was like, well, I guess we just have to agree to disagree. And he goes, yeah, you say tomato, I say go fuck yourself. Anyway, love him. Best man I know. Okay, you may be surprised by just how much has been learned about werewolves in 6 months. For example, our intro, not just a joke.
Wait, werewolf venom is real?
Werewolf venom is real.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Aw.
I mean, I've skimmed through a lot of articles about werewolf venom glands and theories on the nature of mutagenic cytotoxins, but mostly I think scientists just don't want to say werewolf curse.
See, this is why we can't have cool things like werewolf venom.
But this also means if a werewolf cuts you with its claws, no worries. You will not become a werewolf.
On the other hand, there is a new danger, werewolf slobber. Oh no, the owners of Pepper and Paprika.
Okay, actually, I don't know if slobber would be dangerous. I have not seen anything about potency or longevity outside the body. I would say owners of Pepper the Pekingese and Paprika the, I don't know, unspecified cat wear gloves when handling wet or chewed on objects post-transformation and just wash them thoroughly.
Basic PPE procedure.
Obviously, the big news in all things werewolf.
The wild, wild world of werewolves. Say it just rolls off the tongue.
Wild, wild world of werewolves.
See?
Okay, the actual big news is the tests, the new tests, which allow you to screen for infection.
Have you tested yet?
We've been trying, but it's almost impossible to get a test here outside of a hospital.
The university instituted mandatory monthly testing for all staff after that incident on Flight 1241. Did they ever figure out who?
They think it was one of the pilots.
Zombie rules, people. If you get bit, don't keep it to yourself until it becomes everyone else's problem. Anyway, at least it's free, even for lowly grad student instructors like me.
Ooh, lucky. Dad and I have looked into those private tests, and it's a couple of $1,000. You know, because insurance doesn't cover them.
American healthcare sucks. I tested negative, by the way. If anyone was worried, not a werewolf yet. Knock on wood.
No canid antigens in your blood.
Is that how it works?
How do you think it worked?
I don't know. I just thought, like, they poked you with a silver needle and watched what happened.
If that were true, it might justify the out-of-pocket markup, but no. So, you know how there are blood types?
Don't be negative, baby. Be positive. That's mine, by the way, in case I ever need an emergency transfusion.
I can't help you there, literally. I am AB positive. Universal recipient. I cannot give, I only take.
But you have so much blood to give.
So much blood, so much love to give. Second track on Werewolf Venom's first album. Anyway, dogs, wolves, coyotes, they have their own blood types. And some of those canine antigens remain in the bloodstream post-transformation. Since it takes 6 to 8 weeks for blood to be fully recycled, there will always be some indicators in the body.
What about before you transform?
Then you have the venom and its indicators in your system. So high white blood cell counts, increase in changing and dying cells, proteins that only should exist in wolves. These are the things you learn when you try and convince the town council to invest in testing. Utter a few basic facts and you become, I am not kidding you, werewolf girl. De facto expert on all things lycanthrope.
Look to the millennial, for she knoweth how to Google.
And of course, my dad wants to help, so anytime he sees an interesting article, he prints me a copy.
He prints it out on actual real-life paper?
Yes, like a heathen. But that's how I know that fish cannot become werewolves.
Oh, thank God.
Sorry, Sci-Fi Channel, no shark wolves or wolf rays.
Wolftopusses.
Not a fish, but also not wrong. Cannot become a werewolf.
Really?
Okay, this comes from a study out of Japan, mostly dealing with sea creatures, but the growing consensus is it's relegated to warm-blooded animals, birds and mammals. No wolfigators, wolfaranas, or wolfibians, wolfsquitos. Ooh, oh my God, can you imagine?
Oh, I don't know how you'd stop them at that point. Like, just give up and enjoy the ride. But I am disappointed my dream of Wolfosaurus Rex is no longer a reality.
Someone hasn't updated their childhood knowledge of dinosaurs.
No!
T-Rex probably warm-blooded.
The dream lives! Exterior, night. The camera pans across the Cretaceous horizon until on a hill in front of a full moon, a werewolf T-Rex howling. Woo!
That was a beautiful awoo. Anyway, can you become a werewolf if wolves as a thing don't exist yet?
Maybe that's where wolves came from. Maybe wolves are just a type of werewolf that stopped shape-changing.
Except dogs are still the same species as wolves, and dogs can be wolfed.
Has anybody figured out what happens if a wolf gets bitten by a werewolf?
Ooh, someone must have.
Like, would they just get even wolfier? Go all super shredder and have fangs on fangs on fangs?
On fangs, on a hat, on fangs,
on
a
fangs,
hat.
on fangs, on a fanny pack, on fangs, on fangs. Or maybe they become like a person, lose all their hair, like walk around on two legs, become unusually obsessed with jazz and lawn care.
This is someone specific, isn't it?
That would be my dad.
Oh, hello, Malik's dad. Does your dad listen?
We are not a jazz podcast, so no.
Well, if you really want to know if wolves can rock that dad bod,
Yes.
we could take the ad break a bit early and I could go ask my dad.
Friend of the show, Jamie's dad. Sounds like a plan. Listener, World Gone Wrong now proudly presents Mandatory Capitalism. Enjoy!
Hey, I'm Arnie Niekamp from the fully improvised comedy podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern. I'm here with my co-hosts, Chunt the Talking Badger, Bing Bong, and Usador the Wizard.
I greet thee, listeners.
Look, I'm trapped in the magical land of Foon, so I started a podcast interviewing elves, unicorns, and other weirdos. We have great guests like Felicia Day, Jason Mantzoukas, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Amy Mann, and so many more.
Oh, and I think one time we interviewed a sentient shoe? I hope it was sentient.
Not to mention the evil people we've had to interview. How I hate evil.
Join us as we bar crawl across the magical land of Foon.
Looking for adventure.
Getting caught up in escapades.
Hello from the Magic Tavern is available right now on your favorite podcast app and ad-free and with lots of bonus content on Patreon. Subscribe to Hello from the Magic Tavern today.
And we're back. Jamie has consulted with the Oracle of Dadfi. What say he?
Printing out now, but the short version, wolves immune to lycanthropy.
Aww.
You were really hoping for wolf wares, weren't you?
No, I mean, obviously if they were affected, the results would be horrifying, and it makes sense they wouldn't be affected. There's no point in changing into yourself. It just would have been fun if they did change into a super wolf or something.
In a purely theoretical way where that doesn't actually happen because that would be terrifying.
Exactly.
Maybe this would be a good time to tell our listener why you, in particular, have been so interested in matters wolfish of late.
Ooh, okay. Well, listeners, here's the reward for your patience. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm currently working on my doctorate in literature, specifically performative poetry, slam, spoken word, that whole scene. And, well, things have been kind of, I don't want to say dead.
Quiet.
Yes, quiet. Things have been really quiet. Not a lot of readings or performances. And if there are, it's always about...
Malik is literally pointing at the world.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with the apocalyptic poetry or plays.
Or podcasts.
It's just... Sometimes you don't need to be reminded that at any moment gravity could just decide to turn off.
Oh my God. That video of the carnival in Saskatchewan where they're like throwing ropes at people who are floating away.
I couldn't watch to the end. Did they get that old man who was really, really far up? No, I don't want to know. But did they? I knew I didn't want to know. But see, we need, nay, deserve a break from all the doom and gloom and fucking around us. And so, the Unfucking Poetry Slam was born.
Wait, are you going to call it that?
Why not?
Just naming an event after an inside joke from the podcast we host for, our tens of listeners and my dad.
Hey now, I'll have you know, we have hundreds of listeners now.
Really?
It only takes 200s to make a plural. And hey, if we mention Max Roach once in a while, maybe we can add my dad too.
Still.
Okay, how about this? The Unapocalypse Cabaret. An evening of poetry and performance with no mention of the craziness without, only the craziness within.
Ooh, good tagline.
Thank you. Anyway, once I started thinking about it, I just couldn't stop. And I mentioned it to my students, and they got excited too.
They did?
I think everybody just wants to forget about the world and do something. Anyway, I called up some venues about reserving a space, and surprise, surprise, the evening with the most openings and the cheapest rentals happens to be the full moon.
Will wonders never cease.
However, there are certain considerations when renting a venue that night, now that we all know what we're dealing with. For example, screening for werewolves before moonrise.
Okay, would they provide the tests?
No. Either I provide them or only those with proof of a negative test since the last full moon can enter.
Which makes sense. I mean, from a safety standpoint.
Not so much for an inclusive gathering of poor artist types.
No, I mean, maybe if the price of the test comes down a bit before the slam.
Or if the city government provides free tests for everyone. There are talks about that.
God, I wish our town was open to testing.
What do they say?
It's a spectrum from lycanthropy is a moral failing, and those who are infected deserve to be werewolves.
Haven't they seen The Wolfman? There's a whole rhyme about it and everything.
Okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. Even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night
Can become a wolf when the etc. etc. Exactly.
wolfsbane blooms and autumn moon is bright. I had another career. I was meant for more. Anyway.
What? Wait, you don't like being here with me?
No, I love being here with you. So then there's like, it is not the government's place to tell citizens what to do. Each individual should decide what's safe for them and act responsibly. And at least one town councilor, who I will not name, truly believes the tests are actually a way to tell you who isn't a werewolf yet so they can become infected.
Because?
Illuminati?
Illuminati. Third track on the Werewolf Venom album.
Nice. Honestly, the town councilor thing wasn't really a surprise. In starting to digitize town records, I've discovered he makes yearly Freedom of Information requests regarding the quote-unquote satanic conspiracy at Denver International Airport. Look it up. It's a thing.
This just in, lycanthropy causes autism.
You joke, but...
Gross. Speaking of gross, almost all the venues also require someone stationed at the door with a can of werewolf mace in the event of an attack.
Oh, well, that's just a scam.
What is, werewolf mace?
Yeah.
It doesn't work?
No. It works. Only it's usually regular dog or bear mace repackaged and then marked up. I read about a few brands adding silver dust as an extra irritant for marketing purposes, but from what I've read, anything you'd use on a wild animal works just as well.
You learned something new.
And that new thing is cryptids also don't like getting sprayed in the face with capsaicin.
Werewolves can't handle the spice. I knew it.
No garlic. I should have said a different one. That was bad.
That was great. Still, I don't feel great about asking someone to stand by a door in case they have to mace a werewolf. And I, especially, don't want to do it.
I mean, it's no different to if you have to deal with a coyote or a rabid dog.
Yes, but also, I would probably run away and get viciously mauled before I'd actually hit an animal.
Fair. On the other end of the spectrum, have you heard of Van Helsing?
Unfortunately, the videos are going around right now. Though I don't get it. Wasn't he vampires?
In the book. In the movie, he did both. I think that the name is meant to be a play on a wassailing, only instead of let's get drunk and sing Christmas carols, which is not bad, it's let's get drunk and hunt werewolves.
Get a 6-pack of silver bullets and a 6-pack of actual silver bullets and your boys. Are people out there?
I mean, no one that I know personally. The official stance in Colorado seems to be that such activities, while not advised, fall somewhere between the state's stand your ground law and wildlife management.
Wow.
Never mind the fact that if a werewolf is out in the woods in a legal hunting area, they're not near you, and therefore not a threat. Or that people who can't afford reinforced restraints or drugs are more likely to go to the wilderness during full moons so they don't hurt anyone.
What? Poor people being hunted for sport and entertainment? If only literature had warned us.
You haven't had any of this in Chicago, have you?
Not unless you count the Chicago PD's Silver Bullet Squad.
God, are they really calling it that?
Officially, no, but they totally are. Okay, so without hopefully sounding like that one town councilor, don't you think there's something about werewolf testing that feels like a little problematic?
Well, how so?
I mean, there's more than a whiff of moral panic about all this. Like with the HIV crisis, it's a disease, yes, apparently spread by fluids. Those with the condition are seen as dangerous to be around, so they're excluded from being in certain places. There's a stigma about the type of people who get infected.
Ooh, yeah, which can be anyone.
But is more likely among people who are already marginalized. Minorities, the poor, the unhoused, addicts, those who can't afford to isolate themselves. And so, certain people start being avoided or excluded. There's violence against those people.
Okay, you are right. I definitely see those similarities, but I think there are some differences that are very important to note.
Like what?
Okay, well, for example, werewolves, when they're transformed, are dangerous. They are wild animals at that point, and they are amped up wild animals.
Cocaine bears?
Cocaine wolves, which is another hit off the Wolf Venom album. So there's also the fact that not just people become werewolves. You could be attacked by anything on the full moon. Squirrel wolf, dog wolf.
Duck wolf?
That is just a goose.
Ooh, goose burn.
Yeah.
But also true.
And, you know, I haven't thought about this either, but is it possible to get bitten by a werewolf and not know, right? I think that's something that probably needs to be explored. But my point is, I'm getting off track. There is legitimate need to isolate on the full moon for those who are werewolves, but especially for those who aren't, for safety, if nothing else. And as we've seen from things like Flight 1241 or those fucking Van Helsing idiots, we can't always rely on people to act responsibly.
Unfortunately.
And that definitely does come down to the stigma you talked about, which is to say, we should destigmatize the whole idea of lycanthropy as, ooh, it's an evil monster. We should treat it like any other medical condition a person might have, like diabetes or a nut allergy.
Well, hey, we could do that. I mean, we can start here. I hate that I even have to say this, but there is no moral component to lycanthropy and who becomes a werewolf. Quote unquote, good people are not immune. Remember the rhyme?
And having lycanthropy doesn't say anything about you as a person other than you encountered a werewolf and survived.
I'm a survivor, not gonna sing the other lyrics cause it's copyrighted. Any other advice, Dr. Jamie?
I am not a real doctor, but I play one for a municipal government. There is no cure or treatment right now for lycanthropy. Despite what certain other podcasts might be advertising, taking colloidal silver supplements will not cure or prevent lycanthropy.
What is colloidal silver?
We could do an entire segment / you know what? I changed my mind. We can do an entire episode on colloidal silver. I will teach you everything you need to know, but truncated. It's basically just powdered silver in a water or like a pill.
Ew.
It mostly doesn't do anything. There are studies where using it as an ointment on the wound sometimes neutralizes the werewolf venom, but that's dependent on time and mostly inconclusive. The point is, taking supplements as a preventative is a scam. It will not help you. It'll just make you sick if you're bitten, or it will turn you purple if you're not. Most important tip of all, don't keep your condition to yourself.
Zombie rules, people.
That isn't to say that you have to shout about it if you don't want to.
Though, again, really, you should be able to shout about it.
Yes, and 27 out of every 28 days or so, it's nobody's business. But for those who are close to you or those who might be directly affected by a transformation, friends, family,
roommates,
tell them and have a plan in place for the full moon. If you don't know what to do, talk to your doctor or a doctor. They might be able to get you on a sedative plan or, I don't know, have other recommendations.
If you can't afford those, there are also a number of now legal in most states, wink, wink, herbal supplements you can take to keep yourself calm and docile for when you're feeling wolfy.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, just give a little munchies. Don't plan things for the full moon. Stay in. Stay safe. Don't give those Blade wannabes the opportunity. And, you know, now that I think about it, there may be more similarities between lycanthropy and HIV in terms of education and awareness than like between the actual conditions.
Because education and empathy are universal. And I can do my part as well.
How's that?
I can hold an evening of poetic revelry on a night when all can participate, regardless of lycanthropic status. I imagine those with a lunar allergy need an outlet for their feelings possibly more than anyone else right now. And I can offer that.
Oh, Malik, I like that.
So, come one, come werewolf. I'll figure out how to afford it later. Howl at the Moon Poetic.
Howl at the Moon Poetic, the power ballad single on the Werewolf Venom LP.
Stay tuned to this podcast, listeners, for future updates on the poetry event we all deserve this year.
What do you think you're going to write about?
And that's the end of our show. I'm Malik.
The one not avoiding the question is Jamie. Thank you for listening. If you want to support the show, you can find our merch and membership at audaciousmachinecreative.com. This is us, signing out.
We know things are getting weirder every day, but we hope you're baseline, and we wish you all a better tomorrow.
And even when it's ashes, there'll be part of me that wishes we could stay.
Jamie and Malik are played by Hilary Williams and Michael Turrentine.
This episode was written by J. Gregory Moran.
Directed and edited by Jeffrey Nils Gardner.
Our show art is by Carly Fairbanks.
And our bangin' theme song is Falling in Love at the End of the World by Olivia and the Lovers.
World Gone Wrong is produced and created by Jeffrey Nils Gardner and Eleanor Hyde.
This is a production of Audacious Machine Creative.
The Fable and Folly Network, where fiction producers flourish.